I'm Shelley Sunstein with Mount Sinai Nursing Excellence, and I'm here with Yvonne Pereira, an advanced practice nurse in the Department of Oncology, Hematology, and Infusion at Mount Sinai West, which is one of 8 hospitals in the Mount Sinai Health System. Thank you for joining us, Yvonne. And my first question, how long have you worked at Mount Sinai West?
It's going to be 2 years.
What made you join Mount Sinai?
I wanted to explore more. I wanted to come to the city.
From where?
I live in New Jersey.
Okay. Where in Jersey? I'm Jersey.
Teaneck.
Oh,
Teaneck.
okay. Okay.
Teaneck.
Well, that's a decent commute in. What made you decide to become a nurse, Yvonne?
Well, love to acquire new knowledge and apply it to solve problems. I'm very social. I love to work with people.
And was nursing your entire career, or did you come from another profession?
No, I only do nursing.
When you were growing up, did you want to be a nurse?
I believe so. I am from Peru, and one of the customs in my country, for the little kids, when they have a birthday party, they have little customs that you can pretend what you want to be as an adult. And my favorite cap was the nursing cap. So I guess I was meant to become a nurse.
I guess so. When did you come to the United States?
1984.
And you were how old?
19.
Did you know the language?
I had the basics, but I needed more practice. So I started working for a bank. But before that, I went to take some ESL classes in college in Queens. And then from then I met my husband. And we had children. I had to stay home for a little bit. And then when they got older, he put me through school. That's when I decided to go and do the nursing, proceed with the nursing career. And that was back in 2004, I believe.
And what brought you to the oncology unit?
Well, initially, when I had my rotation during the School of Nursing, I wanted to become an ICU nurse. But unfortunately, at that time, I only had an associate degree, so they would not give me the position without a bachelor. I ended up finalizing my clinical rotation in an oncology clinic, and the nurse manager approached me on that 3rd week, and she asked me if I wanted to work there, that she had a good report from the patients, and she thought I was perfect for her unit. So that's when I started working in the oncology department inpatient.
Did that surprise you?
Yeah. I wasn't really expecting to work for the oncology floor, but I feel like I was very comfortable working there.
Well, I have personally experienced Mount Sinai West because that is where I went post breast cancer surgery for my radiation. So I am very familiar. And one of the things that struck me, Yvonne, there, and again, you know, it's you're there for a difficult situation, the patient is, and it was the kindnesses that I saw every time I came in for radiation, from the person who checked me in every day, you know, and I would have to do the handprint, to whether or not I wanted coffee. I mean, it was as good of an experience as you would hope to have. And I think you have to be a special person with a special sensitivity to work in oncology, because if you're in a bad, you know, we all have our moods, right? And if your bad mood or your bad morning, you know, you have to put that aside when it comes to the patient. How do you do that?
I try my best to leave it at the door. And the same thing I do when I go home. You have to give 100% of yourself without carrying anything. when you go to work or you go home. I think it works both ways. That's when you can be the most helpful to your patient.
Is that easy for you to do?
It's not easy, but I am Catholic and I pray every morning. So God help me to do that. I had, unfortunately, my grandmother and my mother, they both had breast cancer. My grandmother died of old age. So the cancer never came back. And but my mother recurred after 8 years, and she battled about 28 years with breast cancer. Every time I see my mom, or every time I see a patient, I should say, I think of my mother. So I think that helps me too.
Well, that gives special meaning to what it is
Yes.
you're doing in the oncology
Yes. On
unit.
every patient, I see my mom, and how would I like that patient to be treated? So they become very special to me.
Is there one person or experience that really touched you above all others?
They are all special to me. I learn every day from each one of them. So everyone is special and unique.
What would you say to people who are considering nursing as a profession? What sort of person is best suited to becoming a nurse and an oncology nurse?
I have to say, you have to be ready to give yourself 100%. 100%. You have to try your best to separate. If you're gonna be at work, it has to be all you do. You cannot be doing something else. Like during my day, like it's very rare that I speak to my husband or my daughters. They know not to call me. Sometimes I wouldn't even answer unless there is like a real true emergency, but I don't really have the time to do any of that.
Is there anything in nursing that you haven't done yet that you would like to pursue moving forward?
I don't think so. I'm very happy where I am right now.
Tell me what you like about working at Mount Sinai. Why is that such a good experience for you as a nurse?
I love the atmosphere. Everybody's so great. You have a lot of support. You can openly talk to anybody, and they're willing to listen.
So the atmosphere is different than some other.
Yes, I like the fact that we have a lot of time to interact with our patients, and they make sure about that. They give you enough time to do that.
And of course, that's the most important thing as
Oh,
a
yes.
patient is
Yes.
that, all of our questions are answered and that you don't feel rushed or you don't
Right.
feel that you're putting out the professional that's tending to you.
Yes, because when they come, it's their time for me to listen and help.
Now, I understand you recently participated as a panelist speaking for the Latinx community in a webinar representing Mount Sinai to improve minority patient enrollment in clinical trials. So what did that
Yes.
exactly involve?
Explaining to that community, because sometimes they don't have a full understanding what that means. So I was able to explain a little bit and answer some of their questions regarding clinical trials.
Why is there a hesitancy to participate in the clinical trials in the Latinx community?
I guess fear to the unknown. So we have to make sure that they understand what it is, a clinical trial. For the most part, they think a clinical trial is a medication that probably is not an actual treatment. They think it's a placebo, that is just a sugar pill or some saline water that they're gonna get. So that's why they need to be educated.
And what is it in reality?
Well, it depends on the clinical trials that they sign into.
Well, I thank you so much, Yvonne Pereira, and thank you for all the good that you do every day at Mount Sinai Health System. And thanks to all of you for joining us. And please follow along for more nurses' stories in our Mount Sinai Nursing Excellence series. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.